Welcome to this channel. Myself Dr. T.N. Devnath. We are discussing the diagnosis of tuberculosis. In this video, we will talk about the automated diagnostic system. And before this, we are talking about GLC, gas liquid chromatography, and HPLC, high performance liquid chromatography. And what we can do, we can identify the cellular long chain fatty acid in this organism, and we usually use 6,7-dimethoxy. We use the 6,7-dimethoxy coumarin ester. This is the fluorescent dye we use coumarin esters, and we can diagnose the long chain fatty acid in the organism. So coming to the automated system of this TB diagnosis, there are two important systems. In the automated diagnosis system, there is a two important system. One is called radiometric system, and another is newer non-radiometric. It is a non-radiometric. In radiometric, we have important test. We call it as a BACTEC, BACTEC, BACTEC 460, BACTEC 460 system. Here, what we'll do, we'll see there is a release of radio level carbon dioxide, and we'll measure the carbon dioxide. What we'll do, we'll use the radio level substrate. We call it palmitic acid, radio level palmitic acid, and we'll use the liquid media, and we add the sample. If there is any growth, there will be release of radio level carbon dioxide, and this radio level carbon dioxide will measure. The amount of radio level carbon dioxide is directly proportional to the mycobacterial growth. So if the radio level carbon dioxide is more, the bacterial growth is more. This is the radiometric method. In this radiometric method, the BACTEC method is very good because it gives fast result, comparatively fast result in 9 to 14 days. But the difficulty is it is very costly, number one. Number two, we cannot see the colonic characteristics. Number three, it is the radio level. As it is radio level, so we need to dispose the radio level carbon dioxide, but there is no difficulty in this facility, so we cannot do all this. So this is not a very good popular nowadays. Now we are use the non-radiometric method. Non-radiometric method, there is important non-radiometric methods are the MGIT. MGIT is a mycobacterial growth indicator tube. Is a mycobacterial growth indicator tube, and this is called 960 system. That means we can examine the 960 sample together. This is called MGIT, and here we don't use any radio level. We use the fluorescence, and we measure the oxygen level. What we'll do, we'll take a round bottom tube, and here we will take 4 ml of liquid media. Is the Middlebrooks 7H9 broth. We'll take 4 ml, and if there is any mycobacterial growth, the dissolved oxygen will be very less amount of dissolved oxygen. So we can identify this on 365 nanometer of wavelength of UV light, and there will be fluorescence. So we can identify with the MGIT system. Is the mycobacterial growth indicating system with the fluorescence light. Number two important non-radiometric method is the BACTEC method. It is the MB-BACT method. It is a MB-BACT method. It is MB-BACT method. Here we use the carbon dioxide. And here we use the carbon dioxide permissible sensitivity. We calculate there. If there is any growth of this mycobacterial, there will be release of carbon dioxide, and that will change the color from dark green to bright yellow. If there is a carbon dioxide production by the microorganism, there will be change in the color from the dark green to the bright yellow, and we can identify it. Okay, so this is number two, and number three is the ESP system. ESP is the extra sensing power. ESP is the extra sensing power. Here we measure the CO2 pressure. If there is any metabolic activity of the organism, there will be production of the CO2, and we will measure the CO2 pressure. If the pressure is very high, then we can call it as a mycobacterial growth. Number 4, we can go for Bactec. We can go for BacTEC. We can go for Bactec Myco F Lytic. Lytic means we are using lytic agent. Here it is most commonly used to extract the organism from the blood. Any blood sample we can extract the organism. Number 2, in phagocytosed organism we can take out the phagocytosed organism by using the lytic agent, and it is usually done in HIV patient. Number 5 is the Gene Expert. Is the Gene Expert or CVNUT, cartridge based nucleic acid amplification test. Here we can detect the DNA of the bacteria. We can detect the DNA of the bacteria. We can also detect the mutation in the RPOB gene. RPOB gene mutation, we can detect it. Okay, this is the Gene Expert or CVNUT. And most importantly, we can go for PCR, and we can go for the nucleic acid probe. Nucleic acid probe. In PCR, we all know what we do in PCR. In PCR, we do STS, is the target sequencing, is the specific target sequence. We identify the specific target sequence. We identify the specific target sequence so that we can identify the organism. The process, we know there is a 3-step process. Number 1 step is the extraction of the DNA. Number 2 important step is the amplification. We all know amplification. And number 3 step is the matching. With the amplified target sequence. So this is the PCR, and PCR is very sensitive, very specific, and it can differentiate Mycobacterium tuberculosis from the other species. So this is the advantage of PCR. And there are also important, there is species specific antigen or primer. Species specific primer, like if it is MTB40 antigen, and if there is MPB64 antigen, the both are specific for MTB. Okay, but if there is 38K delta antigen, it is specific for both. It is as Mycobacterium tuberculosis as well as Mycobacterium bovis. So we can identify with this species specific primer. And with the nucleic acid probe, the importance of nucleic acid probe test, we can identify the mutation, the gene responsible for the antibiotic resistance. That mutation we can identify with this nucleic acid probe test. So lastly, we will see the CDC guideline. Is the CDC guideline for the diagnosis of the TB. The number 1 is smear, number 2 is the amplification. Is a smear and amplification. And if both are positive, we call it TB. If both are negative, it is non-TB. But if the smear is positive but amplification is negative, so we have to identify the other cause of negative amplification or inhibitors of the amplification. So we have to identify this. Now, if the smear is negative but amplification is positive, so we have to take another smear and examine the smear. So this is the modern technique of the diagnosis of the tuberculosis. I hope this video has given you some impression, some knowledge, some insight. So share the video with your friends, family members. Okay, thank you.